unique things that I've never done before, or that no one's ever done before. And make sure that when I do go out there and I put my life on the line, that it's for something special and something unique and something powerful.
The night before the Monte Brento jump, Jeb makes a phone call to his mum.
Hello.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Webster, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay, so do you think you'll be able to come to Switzerland?
Yep, I should know today.
Okay. What do you think the chances are?
They look pretty good, actually.
Really?
Yeah, we'll see.
Huh. All right. Hopefully you'll be able to. It'd be nice if you finally got to see me do something like this.
I know.
I know. You could maybe even be in the helicopter and watch me jump.
I'm excited about it.
It'd be fun.
Okay, I love you, Jim.
I love you too. Okay, bye.
Bye.
The only time she's ever actually seen me do a jump was when I base jumped off the Palace Hotel. And she was on, I think, the 40th floor, and I was on the 50th floor, and I passed her window in free fall. That's pretty cool. You know, lots of people are like, oh, I don't tell my parents because I don't want to make them nervous. I love telling them. I like making my parents nervous. I don't know, I'm a bad person, but for some reason I get like a sick joy out of it. The only thing I like more than my fear is other people's fear. And for some reason I feed on other people being scared, so it makes it more fun for me.
It's the morning of the jump, but strong winds have put Jeb's proximity flight in doubt. Monte Brento has a fearsome reputation, claiming the lives of 6 base jumpers in 5 years. But Jeb decides to go ahead with the flight.
So you jump off, give a good countdown. I'll go just a hair after you.
He'll be joined in the air by fellow wingsuit pilot Dave Barlia, who will film the flight.
Fear is what keeps you safe. It's what keeps you from doing things that can basically kill you. So what happens is you have to manage that whenever you're doing high-risk activity. You have to try to block out the fear that's negative, which is going to actually cripple you and make you so you can't function. But you have to let in the fear that's going to keep you safe. And you know, I'm not superhuman. I'm just like everybody else. You know, as scared as another person is standing on the edge of a building and jumping off is exactly how scared I am.
Ten seconds.
10 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
Traveling at speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour, Jeb and Dave are flying just meters away from the cliff face. Their flight is going to plan, despite the strong headwinds. But as they make their final descent, Jeb makes a reckless decision. He drops altitude so that Dave can film him, sending him off course from his landing zone.
Basically, if this branch above me breaks, I'm going to break both my legs. I'm going to hit that rock right there and both my legs will be broken. So, I need to get off this thing now, and the branch is breaking above me.
While he waits for the mountain rescue team, Jeb attempts to free himself from the wingsuit.
Foot is really stuck there. Oh, because it's that fucking camera.
But the camera mount attached to Jeb's ankle has trapped his foot in the harness.
Ah, fucker. Oh, I can't. I was gonna break. Fuck, man. I'm gonna break my foot. Ah. Fucking hurry, dude. Jesus Christ.
That's no way to get to it.
We try to help you with the rope.
Try to catch this rope. Ale! Oh, get off from the camera and help him! Ale!
The camera crew must step in to help Jeb. After struggling for almost an hour, the rescue team finally pull him free from the trees.
The ambulance?
No.
You sure?
Positive.
No, because I'm part of the rescue team.
No, I'm fine.
I'm good. Good?
Thanks, guys.
Motherfucker.
My foot's okay.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
My hand is not okay. I think this bone is now badly broken. I don't know what went wrong in my hand, and now it's like just every time I move it, just like there's like cracking and popping, and there's like stuff moving around in there that just feels really unnatural.
Jeb has arrived at the hospital to find out the extent of the damage to his hand. If it's broken, he may not be able to control his wingsuit or deploy his parachute at the end of the flight. An hour passes. When he finally emerges, the news isn't good.
It's broken. Badly. And it's actually broken in 2 places.
Would you say that Matterhorn is in the balance?
Oh, I'm jumping Matterhorn. That's happening. If they try to put a cast on me, I'm walking out. And then I'll jump Matterhorn, and then after I'm done jumping, then I'll go put a cast on it. If that's what they say, if they say I need a cast, then I'll do it after Matterhorn. But I'm jumping Matterhorn. It's not like an important hand. It's like the left hand. The important hand is the right hand, because that's what I pull with. And then, like, really, I don't even need my hand, technically. I can just kind of, like, you know, use my wrists. Whatever, I'm jumping, I don't care. Let's go. People ask you why you do certain things. Really what it's about is, you know, you have a dream and you try to turn those dreams into reality. You know, I had a dream to fly the Matterhorn. For me, success is saying, hey, guess what? I dreamt about it, and now I'm doing it.
After years of dreaming and months of careful planning, Jeb Corliss is just hours away from the most technically demanding proximity flight of his career. Jeb takes a close look at the mountain for the first time.
Fly this direction, yes, we can. Cool. Yeah, and we want to fly just off the face so we can actually see our whole jump run as we approach. Yeah.
The landing spot would be over there.
By that road?
Yeah, by that road.
Jumping from a helicopter 600 meters above the mountain's peak, he will attempt to fly within a few feet of the jagged surface.
Okay, so we're going to be coming up over that ridge, flying down this ridge line. Basically, on the first one, I'm going to be super duper conservative, probably. Perfect day. I mean, what, you can ask for better than this.
On the ground, Jeb's safety will be in the hands of Harry Lauber. A veteran of the Alps, he has over 25 years' experience working with climbers and skiers. But it will be the first time he's been responsible for a wingsuit pilot.
I like to see people do this kind of stuff. It's life. Don't think about what can happen or whatever. It's the experience, the adrenaline. I understand that. I love that. As soon as you're landing, grab your stuff and
move, yeah.
Move over. And I'm also aware that whenever they do something, the possibility that something happens is always there. Never go to the mountain and think nothing can happen. There's no 100% safety. Never.
This is probably going to be one of the colder environments I've ever jumped in. I'm going to be jumping in below 0 temperatures. Also on top of that, this is going to be a jump where I'm going to be coming in really close to something and then hugging it for maybe 3,000 or 4,000 feet.
The jump will be made even more difficult after it was confirmed that Jeb broke his hand in 2 places in Italy.
They showed me the x-rays and explained to me how important it is that I put a cast on it. And I'm like, I can't put a cast on it right now. I have too much stuff going on. I have to do this first and then I can put a cast on it. Luckily I don't need it to fly. It's only a I still have wings and arms and everything. They all work good.